Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster, fellow Toastmaster, and honored guest. My speech today is SpeechCraft. This is a program which you may or may not have heard. So my purpose today is to share something about this program. Since I've conducted this program many times, so what I want to bring to you is my experience and the tips. We'll have some time for question and answers, and we'll go over them. But before I start my presentation, I want to go over the handouts that I've given to you. One is this colored brochure. This is what we share with members in District 6, which gives a brief introduction about Toastmasters program called SpeechCraft. The next is a copy of my PowerPoint. I did not want to rely on technology today, so I just made handouts for you. If you don't want to follow this, it is fine, because my presentation is going to be covering the detail of this program. So it's optional for you to make notes. Otherwise, just follow along. I do have a printout of an Excel spreadsheet and an agenda that we have used in SpeechCraft. So having talked about this, let's get started. What is SpeechCraft? Well, SpeechCraft to me is a program which is a short Toastmasters meeting, or in short, it is a short program that teaches people some basic skills of public speaking. It can be listening or just doing some basic presentation. According to Toastmasters International, SpeechCraft is used to promote membership in community as well as corporate. So any club you have, you can actually use to promote membership. And how can we do that? Hope by the end of this program you'll have enough idea about this program, how you can promote and conduct it. Why do you want to conduct SpeechCraft, apart from promoting membership? One, if you have been in Toastmasters for, say, 2 or 3 years, it's time for you to sort of graduate to the next level. What I call as the extra mile, the comfort zone that you have been in so far. How about getting out of that comfort zone? The skills that you have learned here will help you lead seminars, lead a discussion group, maybe organize an 8-week-long program. If you want to attract new members, SpeechCraft is one method to increase that membership by promoting it to new people. Retain the membership. You all have been in Toastmasters for some time. Maybe it's time to use your skills to work as a team and get something more accomplished. There is opportunity to present speeches because every SpeechCraft session has educational presentation. So that gives you an opportunity to get your speeches. If you have been looking for a high-performance leadership project, one of the awards in Toastmasters is Distinguished Toastmaster, which is the highest award. One item needed to get that HPL, to get that award, is what we call as high-performance leadership, or HPL project. Conducting a SpeechCraft can fulfill that requirement for getting that Distinguished Toastmaster award. What do participants get? So every SpeechCraft session, when conducted, will have people who will come in and will be part of the program. They actually get introduced to basic presentation skills as well as listening skills. I have seen participants who come into SpeechCraft program, they were very nervous to give even a 1-minute presentation. By the end of the 6th session, they were confident enough to take a subject, research on it, and gain that confidence, which is what SpeechCraft is designed to do. When you conduct SpeechCraft, you also introduce Toastmasters to non-Toastmasters. So they are actually potential members for you. Each participant gets a workbook as part of this program, and when you complete this program, they get a certificate of completion. So it's not just come, attend, and then go on your way. You actually get to put on a show at the end of the SpeechCraft and do what we call as graduation ceremony. How do you conduct this program? There are many ways. The one I want to suggest to you is based on what I think requires the least number of people to help out and is very effective. I've conducted 3 kinds of SpeechCraft sessions. One is 4 sessions long, 6 sessions long, and 8 sessions long. The program from Toastmasters is designed for 8 sessions, but you can always merge few topics together or even add some. Each session, you can think of, if it is a 6 weeks long program, each session is recommended to be at least 1 hour. And if your time allows it, go for 2 hours. I have conducted anywhere between 1 hour to 1.5 hours. The minimum number of participants in a SpeechCraft is 5. I would recommend go up to 10 if you can get the crowd for that. SpeechCraft doesn't have to be a special event. You can actually take every Tuesday for the next, say, 6 or 8 sessions and convert your regular meetings into a SpeechCraft meeting. 1 hour to me is a little tight, but you can do it. But I would recommend extending your meetings by at least 30 minutes. So 1 hour, 30 minutes is a very good time for participants, especially for people who are getting exposed to so much information that 1 hour, 30 minutes sort of makes sense. You can actually conduct it in a community. For instance, if you can get hold of a library or a community center, often you will find these programs advertised in what we call as a community education, because you are allowed to charge a fee. That kind of becomes dicey when you go to a library and you say, you know, I'll be conducting a SpeechCraft program, but I'll be charging a fee. They may or may not allow you. So something to keep in mind. So what happens in each session? Each session, the first thing we will be doing is an educational presentation. That is followed by speeches, like the speeches that you do from Competent Communicator Manual. I've had occasions where Toastmasters are part of SpeechCraft, and instead of using a workbook that was supplied by the program, they use their Competent Communicator Manual to give their speeches. It is allowed. So let's say if you're working on speech number 4, 5, and 6, that they can become part of your SpeechCraft program. Each speaker gets an evaluation, each speech. There is table topics, similar to what we have in our Toastmasters meeting. We discuss, towards the end of the meeting, the assignments for the next session. The main roles for any SpeechCraft program is a Toastmaster, a timer, and an evaluator, or a set of evaluators. I do recommend a question and answer session because participants who are new to the program will have that. Lots of questions. Maybe it was based on the previous project. So always welcoming them to ask questions increases the value of your program. And the last session is graduation session. In the graduation session, what I encourage participants to do is come up with a 5 to 7 minute speech, well, up to 5 minute speech, and have them utilize all the skills that they have learned in the previous program. Give them feedback and have them make this a selling speech or a motivational speech, or for that matter, anything that gets you interested in what their likes and dislikes are. At the end of that speech session, they are given a certificate of completion. I briefly mentioned that you can charge participant fee. So how much do you want to charge a person? Well, first of all, there is a rule that is governed by Toastmasters International. You cannot, well, the cost has to be directly related to SpeechCraft program, which is books. When you start your SpeechCraft program, you spend about $20 to $25 getting that kit. A kit has a coordinator guide, 5 workbooks, 5 certificates of completion, and some flyers. Those are considered valid expenses. The next is, I consider parking fees, or if you want to get refreshments, sometimes you may have to pay for the room. So those are valid expenses. What Toastmasters wants to make sure is that no organization or individual can benefit from Toastmasters SpeechCraft program. So let's say I become a speaker at your SpeechCraft program, but I want to charge a fee of $50. Toastmasters prohibits that kind of charging a fee. So anything that is related to the cost of the program is okay. I have charged anywhere between $25 to $40 per participant for the program. The money that is raised actually goes to the club funds. And that is, in a way, a fundraiser for the group. What I would like to do is encourage you to think about conducting a SpeechCraft program for the group. When you decide to conduct a program, you will see a potential benefit. One, all of you will get involved. And you don't have to be involved in all the sessions. But let's say when you lead a program, first of all, you will feel the group momentum helping you build up the group. Second, you will be able to promote any guest who wants to come to a SpeechCraft program doesn't have to become a member. However, the proposition is always there. Look, you have already done those 3 speeches. Maybe it's time to take a step further. So what I would say is that think about conducting a SpeechCraft program. And when you do that, here are some of the tips that I usually do in my SpeechCraft programs. First, I always have a tip of the day. And it is not from the Toastmasters program. I just talk about how do you do hand gestures? How do you shake hands? How do you maintain eye contact? Simple things. Anything that you think is very specific to the group that will help them. The evaluations, don't go for 2 to 3. Always have 1 to 2 minutes. A feedback is important. One area of improvement is important, not a thesis on that. I would say have the evaluators in the beginning have Toastmasters, but later on, when your participants become comfortable, they can give that 1 minute to 2 minutes feedback. Always start and end your meeting on time and have those name tints available for you. I have done these programs, so I have all the materials with me. So if you choose to conduct a SpeechCraft program, I can always share the materials that I have. For your participants, Toastmasters says that the 3 speeches that I have given in this program can be accepted as part of their competent communicator manual. So by the end of the SpeechCraft, they can start with speech number 4, 5, and so on. I also say that if they choose to join your group, give them credit for the money they have already paid for the SpeechCraft program. That is for the group to decide how they want to conduct it. For my programs, I always go with a spreadsheet. So if you notice, I have the date on the top, session numbers, who the table topics master is. So this really helps in organizing your program. What I have also done is I have a session agenda that you can use for your programs. The next step for you is decide on SpeechCraft program because it is very good thing for your group. Second, decide on the location. You can have me as your coordinator, or if you'd like to coordinate, I'll be happy to share my expertise. Order the kits, advertise, prepare for educational presenters, rules for every meeting, we can work on that. Do you have any question? Let me take 30 seconds, or at least I'll answer 1 or 2 questions.
Sure, I have a question. What are the requirements to be a coordinator? Is it just to be a Toastmaster member?
Just a Toastmaster member in good standing.
I guess I'd follow up to that. Does it have to be the same one each session? Or do you have, like, maybe one, Dan be one the next time, or Marie the next time after that? Or maybe focus it on what their specialties are?
Usually coordinator is for the whole program.
Okay.
Each session has what I call as Toastmaster, but if you are running short on people, the coordinator becomes the Toastmaster for every session.
Okay.
But one coordinator for the whole program and one Toastmaster every meeting.
Okay.
I see the red light is blinking, so I'm going to wind up my speech, but in short what I would like to say is that if you have not considered Toastmasters until now, this is probably a good time to consider it. District 6 actually is encouraging people to conduct SpeechCraft programs, and your club can definitely benefit from it. Hope you consider it. Mr. Toastmaster.
Thank you, Ravi. That was a good presentation. It was a great presentation.